I have a ton of really meaty stuff for you tonight. Stuff that about the market, stuff about Tesla. I mean, hang in there to the bitter end, and then tell your friends to check it out because, or forward it to them or whatever, because there's meat, meat, meat. And by the way, there'll be another show tonight at 7:45 roughly that will also be super meaty. So you'll have to check. I mean, I got so much going on right now. So there is more evidence of China being sold out of all of their Model Ys for the rest of the year. And add this to the fact that we continue to see absolutely no deals, no specials. I asked Grok, I said, hey, is there any deals or specials that I'm missing out on? And, yeah, well, there's a referral thing, you get extra points. No, no, no. We're not talking about those kind of deals. We're talking about $2,000 off or specials on leasing. No, there's no deals. There's no deals in Europe. There's no deals in China. There's no deals in the United States. So Grok even says that he whatever thinks that 500,000 is in play again. Elon Musk says most people don't know that Tesla has had an advanced AI chip and board engineering team for many years. That team has already designed and deployed several million AI chips in our cars and data centers. These chips are what enable Tesla to be the leader in real world AI. And it isn't even close. He doesn't even, I mean, there's nobody else that's even in the ball game. Okay. I mean, really seriously, nobody else is even has anything like the data center, has anything like the data, has anything like the chip experience. I mean, just it goes on and on. So many modes. The current version in cars is AI4. We know that. We're close to taping out. I guess that's a technical word for concluding their design. The AI5, and they're starting work on the AI6. Our goal is to bring a new chip design to volume production every 12 months. We expect to build chips at higher volumes ultimately than all other AI chips combined. Read that sentence again. All right. We expect to build chips at higher volumes ultimately than all other AI chips combined. He says, I'm not kidding. These chips will profoundly change the world in positive ways, saving millions of lives due to safer driving and providing advanced medical care to all people via Optimus. Send an email. Now he's pitching people to call and if they want to get involved in the program. Well, 𝐒𝐮𝐚𝐲 responds to this. He says, not to mention these chips are heavily co-designed with the Tesla AI software teams to achieve incredible performance while also beating by a large margin on performance per watt and performance per dollar. And we've known this, but it's just like he's repeating it. And what is he repeating it for? Because we're going to get the announcement about the Terra, I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. We're gonna make chips. We're gonna be building a chip fab, a terafab. That's the word I was looking for. For instance, AI4 can process and understand 1 million pixels of streaming video within 1 microsecond. This is only achievable because the software and the hardware are designed together to achieve this performance point. This is just incredible. I mean, it's just over and above anything that we've been expecting. Yeah, when the Samsung deal was done, everybody was very excited about that. When they started buying all these TSMC chips from Arizona, that was very exciting. But no, now we're going to get a terafab, and that's just incredible. And we're going to be putting these things in space. All right, this is Randy Kirk, by the way. Buy the book, buy the book, buy the book. Eric L. Dow says, breaking in a massive development, President Trump is expected to announce the Healthcare Price Cuts Act as soon as tomorrow to fix the broken Obamacare subsidy system that gives billions to big insurance. He has officially cornered the Democrats on Obamacare. They will now defend big, rich insurance companies. This will be fun. The bill would halt Obamacare premium spikes per MSNOW. Don't ask me what that is, but that's according to MS. Maybe he's talking about MSNBC instead of NOW. Anyway, the plan reportedly includes a deposit mechanism where we'll be putting money into a healthcare savings account, incentivizing lower premium options. It would also end the premium hikes and zero premium subsidies and stop massive fraud known as ghost beneficiaries. We're starting to see that a lot. Trump recently said, I am calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for this massive amount of money to be paid directly to the people so they can buy their own health care. We will pay a lot of money to the people and forget this Obamacare madness. Before New York, I'm sorry, that's the end of that story. As people have been saying all week, Obamacare was supposed to be the Affordable Care Act, but there's been nothing affordable about it. And the consequences are going to be hitting big time in the next 30 days as people start getting their Obamacare premiums raised like crazy with no subsidy. So we will see if the president's move will actually be adopted. I'm sure it's not going to take a week, but we'll see what happens. Okay, listen, before New York, this is on Friday, before New York Fed President John Williams spoke Friday morning, the vote tally going into the Fed meeting next week was 5 voters strongly signaling they do not want to cut rates. That would be Barr, 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐚𝐲, Schmid, Goolsbee, and Collins, and 4 voters signaling they want to cut rates. So Williams became the 5th vote signaling they want to cut rates. The two voters' opinions were unknown, Powell and Jefferson. Williams, Friday morning from Chile, said, I still see room for further adjustment in the near term to the target range for the federal funds rate to move the stance of policy closer to the range of neutral. Williams is a close ally of Powell, so the market is interpreting Williams as speaking for Powell, meaning the bullets above can shift Powell from unknown to cut. The bullets were the chart that they put up. I'm sorry. So 6 voters for a cut, 5 voters for holding, and Jefferson still unknown. But he's expected to do whatever Powell wants. So that would be 7-5 for the cut. The markets reacted accordingly. The probability of a cut ended at 63% on Friday. This author is wondering, why wasn't it 95%? Because this is new, and we hope we are interpreting this correctly, and we are looking at a 7-5 vote, anyone can switch their outlook and change the outcome, of course. One scenario to consider, could Lisa Cook vote to keep rates steady instead of cutting them and stick it to Trump for trying to fire her? If she did, that 75 vote becomes 6-6, and the Fed's never had a 6-6 vote. The last 7-5 vote was in 1983. The Federal Reserve Act has no official procedure for resolving a tie. Generally, the federal funds rate will remain unchanged because there's no provision allowing for the chair or anyone else to break the tie. However, the committee might opt for a revote during the same meeting. They did a revote in 1986, or wait until the next scheduled meeting to take another vote. Okay, so there you go. There's where we are right now. But the markets are interpreting this as the cuts are going forward. The Washington Post has this. If you want more news, it just keeps on coming. The Washington Post says, I say before the Washington Post story, that you may have seen misleading numbers regarding the age of first-time home buyers, like this post from Oakley IM. Said, generational lockout? According to the National Association of Realtors and Apollo chief economist, the median age of U.S. homebuyers has hit a staggering 59 years. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. What's going to happen? They go on to say it was 39 years old in 2010. This is not a quirk. It's a clear symptom of REBC's mature stage. And as land values peak, the market shifts from wage earners to existing equity holders. He goes on to just talk about how this, but why is he using median instead of mean, the other kind of average? Well, the National Association of Realtors also made headlines this month when its annual survey of home buyers, this is now the Post, when its annual survey of home buyers revealed an eye-popping statistic. The average mean first-time home buyer is now 40 years old, according to the National Association of Realtors. For years, the real estate agent's annual survey of home buyers showed a very gradual uptick in first-time home buyers' ages from a median of 28 in 1991 to 33 in 29. So this would still be kind of a major, change. Then it jumped to 36 in 2022, 38 in 2024, and now 40. But those findings don't match up with other data on first-time home buyers. Connor O'Brien, an economic policy researcher, analyzed data from the Census Bureau's American Housing Survey, which asks a huge representative sample of Americans about their housings. And by his findings, the median age of first-time homebuyers has held at 33 for nearly a decade, from 2014 to 2023. The most recent year data is available. Now, when more data comes out, O'Brien still isn't expecting a huge uptick in buyers' ages. Housing costs are higher now than before the pandemic, but not much higher than 2023. The volume of sales hasn't changed that much. Even if there's been a spike in the last 12 months, this is Randy speaking now, the spike, and Grok agrees with me on this, if there's been a spike in the average and or the mean in the last 12 months or even a year or 2 years, it is almost certainly due to high mortgage rates favoring all cash buyers. Young buyers didn't want to pay 7 to 8% interest. So as interest rates come back down into the fives, which I think will happen later this year, then and it's already happening, is that regular buyers are getting back in the market, even though it's slightly over 6. So that is that news. Okay, what do we have coming up this week in terms of economic data? All right, U.S. retail sales, the delayed report. This is 0.6% was the last time it was reported in August. This will be a September report, still way in the rearview mirror, and they believe it'll only go up 0.3. I think that's crazy. Bank of America and others were talking about being up 0.5, 0.6. U.S. retail sales minus autos, it was up 0.7. Again, people are estimating it'll be 0.3. I think they'll find out they're completely wrong about that. Then we've got the Producer Price Index, their delayed report coming in, but it's only going to be for September, not October. And last time that they reported in August, it was down 0.1. And the people who are being polled think it'll be up 0.3 on the headline number, and it was 0.2, it was 0.3 on core. In the previous one, it was 2.6 on PPI year over year, and it was 2.8 on core PPI. And on those, they're not making any guesses. But all of this is September, so way in the rearview mirror. We're not getting the current information this week. S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index will be coming out. Last time it was up 1.6. I wouldn't be surprised to see it under 1 at this point. Business inventories will be coming in. They think it'll drop a little bit from 0.2 to 0.1, but they're talking about August. They're not even talking about September. They're about August. What difference does it make? Consumer confidence numbers will be coming in. Last week we had the consumer, the other one, I always forget it, from the University of Michigan, and on that one it was down a little bit. The consumer confidence numbers last time were at 94. They think it'll drop to 93.4. I wouldn't be surprised to see it either even or up a little bit. Pending home sales were at 0% increase. They think it'll continue in October to be a 0% increase. Then we get to Wednesday. That was just all on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we get initial jobless claims last week, 220,000. They're thinking it'll go up to 225, which would be a nothing burger. Durable goods orders will be coming in, and last time that was up 2.9. They're thinking it'll only be up 0.3%, but I'm seeing the price of durable goods going up, and I don't think that's all tariffs. I think durable goods are starting to pick up a little bit. So I think this could be low. We could be looking at a higher increase in durable goods orders. And then durable goods orders, less transportation. Last time it was up 0.4, and they're not even making a guess on that one. Guess what? Thursday, there's no economic reporting, but there is one economic report on Friday, and that is the Chicago Business Barometer from the Fed. Last month, it was at 43.8. Again, no guesses from those who claim to know better than you and I. All right, then we've got Truflation numbers overnight. I'm going to go a little deeper into those. Hang in there with me. Like I said, a lot of meat tonight. I've still got way more to go. We got the numbers to go. We've got Tesla overnight to go. So we've got Truflation, U.S. index overnight, 2.41, dropping again. Goods inflation at 2.47, dropping a lot from the 2.8 that it was like at the beginning of the week. We have core inflation down to 2.16. We have services inflation down 2.46, and we got the PCE at 2.36. Now, remember, these are right now. These are numbers that they're getting every day, every week. So this is way more inclined to be more accurate than the actual CPI and PPI. Now, doesn't mean the CPI and PPI when they and the PCE when they come out like this week, which are way behind. These are going to be way behind reporting for way even further behind. So I don't know why anybody's even going to pay attention to them. All right. Now I'm doing a little bit of guessing here, but one of the things that really went down is grocery prices and the things that you buy in Target and the things that you buy in other mass marketers. And so dropped like a rock. So they got some new pricing in over the weekend that shows that these prices are going down. I was in Ralph's yesterday, and like there were sale signs everywhere over the entire store. I think what's happening is Target said we're lowering 3,000 prices, and everybody else had to say, "Oh, you are? Okay, then we got to lower prices too." Even though right now Walmart and Costco are winning this race in terms of increasing their store sales, the other ones are saying, "Well, if we have to, we'll cut our prices in order to compete." So there's a dramatic drop on grocery prices, and on the other kinds of things you buy at Ralph's are at in particular, not Costco so much, more like what you would buy at Walmart or Target. So Truflation has this. Okay, I'm going to go through it really quickly. The food is now under 2% for food overall. Housing is down to 0.64% year over year. Transportation is now under 2%. And the only thing keeping it as high as 2% is cars, which are up around 5%. Healthcare is exactly at 3%, but the insurance hasn't clicked in. But now we got the president who listened to my show the last week and heard me saying, you've got to solve healthcare. Now we still need to solve utilities, Mr. President. So what are we going to do about natural gas prices? Then utilities, as I just said, are the really scary one, coming in around 10% year over year, and natural gas is the reason. Okay, that's about six. The overall utility is about 6% of the economy, so it's really important. Clothing and footwear also in recovery, starting to drop, but still up a little bit higher because of tariffs and because numbers were so low last year. Durables are up to 5% right now. That's my whole point, is this is like one number that's still sticky. Part of that would be tariffs, but I think it's also because factories haven't been making durables and the consumer might be starting to buy some. Communications down, actually in negative territory just a little bit. Education is sitting at 3%. Recreation and culture under 3 at 2.6. And other personal items also fell off a cliff down to 1%. All right, so there's the current inflation numbers. So when you're seeing all these crazy inflation numbers that people are talking about out there, these are current. These are what's happening right now. Now, I also thought we ought to check on the dollar. See, I'm telling you, got so much going on here. But I didn't want to look at year to date. That's just out of the air. What do I care about year to date? So let's pick a number that really might matter, which would be, let's start with November 1st, just before the election, just before everything changed. And let's see where the dollar is compared to then. And what we're going to find is that the small basket of currencies, I think it's like 7 currencies, is down 3%. So the dollar is losing ground against the small basket of currencies, which includes the Japanese yen, though. So that's one of the reasons it's gone now from down 10% to down only 3%. The large basket of currencies is actually up 3%. So I would say that after all the talk about the dollar is actually pretty strong, and it seems to be going up and to the right. All right, I hope that was enough meat for you for one night. Let's go ahead and check remember, there's going to be more meat coming up. All right, let me go ahead and check. Let's start with Tesla, as long as it's after 5 o'clock my time, so we can look there first. So Tesla is only up $8.31 or 2.12%. That would take us to 399.40, 399.50. And so that's a good sign. Let's go ahead and look at bonds. Last time I looked at bonds, they were up a little bit, only 0.4%, still sitting at 406.7. That's a good number. I'd like to see it come down even more, but that's a good start. You've got the oil down again a few more cents, 13 cents, 57.93. That really needs to move back up again. Natural gas down, that's good, 2.38% at 447, though, still way too high. Gold down 16, 4,062, very close to its normal range. Silver down 0.35, about the same as gold, under $50 again, 49.72. And copper sticking up over $5, but just barely at 501. That's down 0.08% right now. The dollar right now is mixed. That would be just in the pre-market right now. Bitcoin has had a good day, up 2,471 at almost 87,000 now, up from 84,000, but still in the doldrums for sure. Ethereum is up 1.84% at 2794. So as of now, at least, it didn't go all the way back down to what looked like it might get down to 50% drop. We've got the pre-market. We've on the equities. We got the Dow up 0.23, S&P up 0.37, and NASDAQ up 0.52. It was up even more earlier. I think it's based on the Fed thing. It's based on the president saying he's going to at least address Obamacare. I think it's based on the fact that it's going to be a short week. I don't know. Anyway, those are a couple of reasons, I suppose. All right, let's go ahead and I need to tell you about, as I mentioned, later tonight, you want to watch out for that. This morning I did a video. Now I'm going to forget entirely what it was about. I can only tell you that every video I did this weekend is meaty, 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 meaty. I mean, going into the details like I just did. We talked about FSD. We talked about the economy. We talked about what's going to happen. I know this morning was on Inference. I talked about what's happening with Inference in terms of the lead that the Elon Musk companies has on Inference. I'll put that card right up here if you haven't seen that one yet. And yeah, and then normal day tomorrow. I think that's all I've got for you right now, except you need to buy some of these for your friends and family, only $25 for one, and etc. I mean, they're really fun. These are solid. These are, they're very cool. You need to buy one. It comes in a beautiful black gift box. I mean, why wouldn't you want one of those? And then, of course, you should buy the book, and you should buy it as a gift for everybody you know, or at least the ones you care about. It's been great talking to you.